Sila yata kung hindi niyo maitatanong ay 1976 nang ipinanganak. Kasama pa sa tinaguri ang mga martial law babies, mga sumulpot na artists, intellectuals, na may ideya sa phrase na the long 1970s. Naabutan nila yata ang tinatawag na bukang liwayway ng mga panibagong eras. Ang mga magbubuwis ng mga buhay sa bayan. Ang mga maglalaho at patatahimikin sanhi na aktivismo. Tatak nila yata ang pagiging apakialamera.
Kasi nung lumalaki ako, mahilig lang talaga ako sa kwento. So parang chismosang bata lang.
Okay.
Kwento ng kapitbahay, kwento ng ano. Kahit na sinong may kwento, pinakikinggan ko. Tapos yun nga, pinakikialaman in my mind. So may
Pupuhunan pala niya bilang isang mandidula ang pagiging pakialamerang ito. Naabutan rin niya ang panahon na mas sumidhi ang korupsyon, mas sumidhi ang mga investigasyon, mas sumidhi ang mga pagyurak ng karapatang pantao. Di pa man niya batid noon, may pulso na pala siya para sa paglikha ng mga tauhan na taong tatharin ng mga nauuwinig, napapanaginipan, ikinababangungot, pinapasan. Actually, ang dula niyang Las Mentiras de Gloria noong 2008 ay nakatiming sa pagkakilala na rin ng bayan sa kasinungalingan ng binabansagan nating ang pandak. Pero bukod pa sa pagiging lubog ni Layeta sa mga pangyayari sa kanyang paligid, bukod pa sa talas ang ibig sabihin, nagagawa niya ang sosyologikal na tungkulin at panawagan para sa mga higit pang may laman na mga akda. Bumubuo siya ng mga senaryo na kung saan kapag merong pamilya doon na lamang sa hindi, matatalakay ang barangay politics na nangyayari sa mga clusters na ito. Alam na natin yung mga masalimuot na mga ugnayan na nasa loob ng pamilya at nare-replicate ito sa iba pang mga human relations na meron tayo. Ang Titus Andronicus ang pinakamarahas na dula ni Shakespeare na kaya ni Layeta Bukoy na dalhin ang konteksto sa Pilipinong konteksto. Madalas sa hindi, ang kanyang mga protagonista ay merong misyon. Ngunit nakakasalubong ang galamay ng media at politiko. Alam na alam ni Bukoy ang publiko. Wala siyang ilusyon na sila'y tabula rasa. Sila'y marurupok, may piring sa mata. Nakakikilala ng injustisya, pero bulag sa komplisidad sa injustisya. Madalas, pinipili ng mga marurupok na makipagkapit kamay sa katarungang nakalilis ang piring sa mata. I-maintain na lang ang status quo dahil mas mahirap magtanong. Sila yata rin ang isa sa mga apoy na patuloy na nagpapaliyab sa dinas ng Virgin Love Fest. Sa kanyang bagong dulang Doc Ana, naroon pa rin ang tatak ng panulat ni Layeta Bukoy. Matapang, mapangahas, matalas sumuri. Naisa puso ang sinasabi noon ni Rolando Tini. Natantanan ang mga dulang umiikot lang sa syllables na tatatlo. Du, la, at lang. Nakuha ang bangis ni Rene Villanueva sa dialogue at konfrontasyon. Natuto sa pag-petri dish at pag-microscope ni Nicolas Pichai at Rodi Vera at Liza Magtoto na may song and dance. Pero higit pa sa kanyang mga maestro at maestra, si Layeta ay may sariling tatak. Napupulso ang ngayon na itatanong ang ayaw nating harapin. Pinatatawa tayo habang nauunawaang ang mga bukas na kabaong na nakakalat sa ating paligid ay kasama na pala ang ating mga sarili. Pinaiiyak tayo sa pagtunghay sa mga impit na pahayag ng pait at sakit na minamaskara pagkaraan ng mga bangungot. Padayang Layeta at salamat.
Particular na play kasi na ito, talagang ang goal ay makagawa ng dula mula sa actual na research na scientific.
Actual na research.
So, yung produkto ay gagawa ng tula.
Okay. And judging from the information that you've told me, matindi ang drama niyan. Sa nakikita ko, napapansin kong pattern dun sa Doc Ana, may science, hindi ba? So, can you talk a little about that?
Based siya sa dalawang research from UPLB Nanotechnology. Tapos about arsenic. The level of arsenic contamination ng tubig, which we use, we drink, gano'n.
Oh my God. So literally, parang sinasabi mo, araw-araw, umiinom tayo ng lason.
In a way, dito, I really wanted na talagang ang basehan na it's not gonna be sci-fi and you are going to dramatize the scientific principles inside the research paper. And then, ang sa akin dito ay you have to acknowledge that those principles in the research paper are also the same principles governing us as humans. Yun parang yung theory ko. Na the nature itself or the physical environment has a narrative and so does drama. Kasi nanotech na yung gamit. So, kailangan ng a little bit of chem, a little bit of engineering, a little bit of agri. I mean, you can do without the outer areas. Wala siyang hindi siya endorsed an impending danger, and then that's what the play is going to be about. Baliktad. The danger has already been there, kaya sila nagpanic. They've been dying. So people in that town, they've been dying because of cancer. So, election, campaign period, namit ng politicians. Nagkataon, negosyante yung kalaban, mayor. The mayor is the one na may-ari ng funeral parlor. So yung mayor, yung planta yung sinisi niya, which produces fertilizers. The other nga, syempre, ang sinasabi naman, pero sino nakikinabang? So obviously, pag maraming patay, maraming kita ang funeraria. So they communicated, dito sa Doc Ana, who was the one who produced yung fertilizer na binibenta o ginagawa ng planta, which was very important to the town as she was already doing the research. Ang problema lang kasi that was also the time na malapit na yung fiesta. So the fiesta is very important, not just on the level of kasi yung nanay niya is manang ng but also kasi yung pamangkin niya, girl, may trauma because of the fiesta. And it will end with the fiesta. So it's about this town na talaga. And then at the heart, there's this scientist who thought that you can solve that problem. Diba? We have all of these problems, tapos sa huli, may tendency kasi na maghahanap ng sisisihin.
Scapegoat.
So maghahanap ng scapegoat. She became the scapegoat of everyone.
Right.
In the end, yung mga splints mo ay magko-collapse.
Okay.
So merong grand, diba? May grand eksena. Everyone is already there, even the dead ones.
Ano bang pinaka-hubris ni Ana, if you may say so?
For having belief na it's just a scientific problem. That she'll be the one to solve it. Or hindi lang siya, but science. You don't want to solve it. Yun nga, without realizing, magkakakonekta tong lahat. Yun yung nasa Children of the Sun, na may scientist, andun na siya sa lab niya, nagkakagulo na pala yung
mundo
niya, yung mundo. And then it was already too late. So, na-realize niya na he should have been, a conscious participant dun sa kanilang mundo. So etong sa kanya, meron din siyang ganung tendency because she uses the lab as her sanctuary. She cannot face the world because she has all of these insecurities No? So, hindi siya maka-ano sa mundo. So, umanap siya ng sarili niyang mundo niya dun sa lab. Diba? But the lab in itself is very much part of that world because it is that world, yung outside, which first and foremost allowed the existence of the lab. And whatever you do in the lab would affect, diba, what is outside. Yung campaign jingle, which by the way is based on Blackpink's Kill This Love. Kaya siya Doc Ana, Let's Kill This Love.
Okay.
Diba, may nilabas yung Blackpink na Kill This Love.
Okay. I think you should talk more about that.
Yung Blackpink, una kasi nga sumikat ng katakot-takot yung Blackpink, yung mga bagets, alam na alam ko. Nagkaroon kasi ng Kill This Love Challenge na nauso sa mga kabataan. Viral yung video na yon na Kill This Love Challenge. So dun sa challenge na yon, basta anything na ginagawa mo and then I'm gonna call your name like, Luna, kill this
Kill
love.
This Love.
You have to dance. So parang ganun lang. And then I thought, uy, gagawin kita title. Para kill this love. Parang ano yung pangalan ng bida. So parang ganun lang. Tapos in terms of influences, kasi nga, in this particular play, I'm writing of the now, diba? The way that I see now. So kasama dun sa now na nakikita ko, pop culture, diba? Hindi naman matutanggal yan. Of course, the political climate, all that we have now, diba? So dahil now siya, so references din yung now. What I'm attempting is to capture the spirit of the now. Which will still be with us, diba? Long after we're all gone, unless people really change.
Right.
Diba? So parang ganun lang siya.
I love what you said. Kasi the kind of pulse that you have, napansin ko nakikinig ka talaga dun sa mga kabataan at saka dun sa pinakikinggan nila. Or are you planning to reserve its staging after the pandemic is over?
Meron din akong ginawa dito na ready, kumbaga, yung script for an online performance. Just in case it's going to go online, at least hindi may hirapan yung production. Especially kung Zoom yung gagamitin. So, pagdating doon sa form, may consideration na this may go on.
Mukhang magtatagal pa talaga itong pandemya na ito
7 years.
Yes. So, dapat kung mag-isip na tayo, nasa frame na talaga na ganyan.
Mas bago to for us. Especially kasi thunders na tayo. So, yung mga bagets, immerse sila, no? Especially yung mga nasa high school, college, immerse na sila sa ganito. So, sila yung technical consultants. So, minsan sumasali talaga ako ng kung ano-anong mga grupo na puro kabataan yun nandun. Kasi, di ba parang...
Yes.
Parang, uy, ano naman to? Di ba? You tell me. Natutuwa naman sila pag nalaman, ay, ang tanda nyo na po pala. Parang akala nyo kasi bata nyo ako. So, dahil ako yung pinakamatanda, turuan nyo ako. Turo nyo to, di ba? At madami pa, hindi lang Zoom, marami silang binabanggit eh.
It's a cross-cutting technology. It serves to support many areas, even transportation, energy, food, especially food packaging, energy, health, and although there are problems, but it can be managed if we develop the expertise for it. Ang bacteria, 1,000 nanometers
But the nanomaterial,
is at least 1 to 100 nanometers in one dimension.
well,
Ang liit. And at that dimension, you have new properties that are quite different from the bulk material, from the bigger material of the same kind. Hindi nga to sci-fi. Ito nagtotoo, pero dati na kasama din siya sa sci-fi. Kasi
Pero may-
yung explanation, yung the things that make science, fantasy, science fiction become reality is rooted in nano.
oh, that's nice.
Kaya,
Pero ito, I don't want sci-fi.
oh, hindi, yun nga nakakatawa kasi mukha siyang sci-fi, pero hindi. It opens up new ways of looking at things. And that itself is enriching.
Hi guys! Hello mga kabubbles! Welcome back to ang paglalakbay ni Madam Chetter sa UP Writers Workshop ECQ Tiny Bubbles Edition. Ngayon po kasing araw ay pag-uusapan natin ang dapat may echo to, ang nano poetics ng dula. O, di ba? Hi!
Hello!
Uy, magpalakpakan naman kayo dyan sa baba. Oh, ayan.
Oh, thank you.
Di ba? Nandito si Lani para para makakwentuhan natin today. Lani, eto na. Di ba, simulan na natin. Ano ba itong nano-poetics ng dula? Paano mo ka ba nakakapag-prep dito? Parang masyadong maraming science dito. Paano ka ba nag-prep dito? Kasi you know naman, yung mga ka-chemistry natin dyan sa baba, ka-physics, diba? Medyo nahihilo na sila at nag-leave sila ng chat. Diyan lang po kayo, sama-sama po tayo, diba? Paano ka nag-prep dito sa nano-poetics ng dula, diba? Para mabuo mo ito. sa nanopoetics ng dula, di ba? Para mabuo mo ito.
Siyempre, nung una, may kailangan akong i-stock, no, na nanoscientist. So, bigla na lang akong sumulpot. Tapos, hello po, balita ko, meron kayong nanotechnology. So, ano po yun? Noong una, parang hindi ako sineseryoso. Tapos, eventually, kailangan ko mag-sit in sa klase, sa higher chem. Tapos, kailangan ko rin bisitahin yung kanilang nanolab para makita yung mga equipment, diba, kung ano yung laman nun, at ma-familiarize para maunawaan ko para saan pa talaga sila. Matagal bago ako nakaisip ng pamamaraan kung paano yung gagawin. Nagsimula rin ako ng sci-fi muna kasi nga trekking. Ginamit ko naman biotechnology. So nagsusulat ako ng sci-fi gamit ang mga produkto na ng UPLB Biotech.
Ayan. Shout out naman tayo dyan.
Sa UPLB Biotech.
UP Los Baños Biotech. Di ba? Maraming salamat po hindi nyo pinabayaran si Layeta.
Kung saan mura ang virgin coconut oil.
Alam po natin ang VCO. Type nyo lang po dyan yung details sa baba. Di ba? Yung nasa backstage po natin. Di ba? UPLB Biotech. Lagay po dyan ang presyo ng VCO. At paano po ipapadala ang GCash kung
pagsasama no nung agham at saka nung dula, diba? May iba-ibang paraan na. Meron ng kumbaga meron ng naisulat o meron ng naibahagi itong si Carl Djerassi na father of the contraceptive pill, no? Bilang chemist, siya'y chemist at siya ay playwright din. Naglabas din siya nung kanyang sariling pagtingin o parang kanyang treatise, no, tungkol sa science in theater. Yun yung tawag niya, science in theater. Sa kanya, laman nun, ang isa doon ay dapat daw hindi lamang ginagamit na metapora ang agham, no, doon sa loob ng dula. Dapat daw para maging science play ito, yung aspeto ng agham na ilalagay mo dun sa dula mo, kinakailangan maging bahagi talaga ng iyong banghay. No, yun yung isa niya. Tapos sa akin, ang tingin ko doon, tama at mali siya. Yung pagiging mahalaga nung science doon sa banghay, yun yung hamon naman sa akin ni Dr. Chongson.
Shout out muna tayo kay
Dr.
Dr.
Chongson!
Anong sabi ni Doc Nick? Anong sabi ni Doc?
Sa kanya din kasi, ang sabi niya na sana nga lang daw, yung mga kalalabasan ng mga dula ay hindi lamang yung ginagamit yung agham as a metaphor, kung hindi, magawa ko rin daw sana na yung agham mismo o yung bahagi ng agham doon ay maging importante doon sa banghay. Ang posisyon ko naman ay dapat na maging importante doon sa banghay. So kung ikaw ay merong scientific research paper, kailangan yung laman nung scientific research paper na yon ay hindi mo bibitawan doon sa iyong banghay.
Oh, wow.
Kailangan yung plot mo o yung banghay mo ay malaki, no? Malaki yung papel ng scientific research paper. No, not the paper. Pwede naman not the paper itself, pero yung laman ng papel. No? Tapos pwede naman hindi yung there's this scientific research paper and then because of this nagkagulo, di ba? Pwede naman hindi ganoon pwede yung laman. Di ba, kung ano yung laman. Yun yung magiging importante ngayon doon sa iyong banghay. Sa akin nga, kung ganyan din lang, hindi tulak pa natin ng mas matindi na hindi lang basta importante dun sa plot mo, kundi importante na dun sa sinasabi ng dula mo. Yung scientific principles which a scientific paper may use, diba, or may yield, kailangan mahanap mo rin siya pagdating naman sa tao. Kaya sa madaling salita, ang kailangan lamang pala ay matuto tayong mag-metaphorize o gumamit ng metapora.
Ay, metaphors na tayo. O,
Oo.
di ba? Anong magiging contribution or pagtulong siguro sa kultura o sa ating experience ngayon sa buhay? And dyan pa kayo kumunizens, hindi ko makompleto yung sentence ko. Ang tanong
Sa
ko talaga
pandemya.
ay, sa panahon ng pandemya at fake news.
Kung merong isang aral, no, sabi lang, isa sa mga maraming aral, itong pandemya ito ay ang ating siguro pagkatanto na ang isang sitwasyon o isang problema na komplikado ay hindi malulutas o kahit mauunawaan lamang na gamit ang isang disiplina. People may use science to do bad. Diba? The more, of course, that we should encourage or force people to use science to do good. Yeah, and I guess theater may play a vital role in doing so.
O, applause po tayo dyan. Mabagal pa rin ako mag-ulit. Oo, tsaka syempre, sama natin yung ano na. Yan po. Papaalam po tayo. Maraming salamat po.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Maaari na tayong magsimula. Pasensya na ako. Layata, may mga nakapila ng ibig mag-comment dun sa Doc Ana, Let's Kill This Lab. At unang-una sa mga gustong mag-comment ay si Eugene. Eugene, nandiyan ka ba?
Ay, nandito ako. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat at pagbati sa inyong dalawa sa napakagandang presentasyon no, ng moderator at ng mandudula. Pagbati, Professor Layeta, Ma'am Layeta, no, napakaganda ng iyong proyekto, no, napakaganda ng iyong ambisyon. No, kasi pag sinabing Layeta Bukoy, no, sa mga Virgin Lab Fest, ang ano talaga, no, ang pinupuntahan talaga yan at talaga pinipilahan, no, ng mga manonood kapag may kasamang dula sa isang set, no, ang mga dula, no, ni Ma'am Layeta. No, at naalala ko, no, sa proyektong ito yung kanyang dula na tinanghal na rin, no, yung si Dali Dalisay at ang mga Ladybugs, no, na nung una ko itong narinig, napanood, no, na sabi ko posible pala, no, na ano, no, na paksain ng mga dula ang ganitong ganitong mundo, no, ng halimbawa dito sa nabanggit kong dula sa mundo ng isang scientist, no, entomologist, no, yung scientist na nag-aaral ng mga insekto, no, na may kinalaman sa agrikultura, no, at kitang-kita natin talaga yung mundo, no, yung impluwensya ni ni Leata, no, sa kanyang pagsusulat. Napakahalaga ng itong klase mga proyekto dahil ito ay makabuluhan sa panahong ito na kailangan nating manalig sa siyensya, na sa mga saliksik at sa mga siyentista. No, so doon pa lang, no, panalo na, no, ang proyektong ito. Pinapahalagahan ko rin ang proyektong ito sa Conceptual Development Communication o yung ini-intellectualize natin yung wika ng saliksik at yung gaan ng mga saliksik para ito ay makarating at maibahagi sa mga karaniwang tao o sa mga taong higit na nangangailangan ng saliksik, hindi lamang sa mundo ng akademya, kundi sa mundo, no, ng mga magsasaka, no, sa mga mundo ng mga karaniwang tao na higit na may kinabang sa mga saliksik sa loob ng mga universidad. No, at dito na ipakita na hindi lang natin ginagawang simple ang wika ng saliksik, kundi ginagawa rin natin malikhain. No? Ito ang nagiging material ng mga malikhaing mga paksa, no? O kaya ay yung magiging bukal, no, ng mga dula sa sa teatrong Filipino. Sa sinabi mo sa iyong poetika na paano ilalangkap ang agham sa banghay ng isang dula, napakaganda nito, no, na gusto ko nga ipabasa ito sa aking mga susunod na estudyante, no, sa semestreng ito, no, dahil ito ay magbubukas ng marami, no, at mayamang posibilidad, no, sa pagsalaysay at pagsusulat. No, at ito rin ay nanghihikayat sa mga siyentista na magsulat at ang mga manunulat na maging siyentista. No, naalala ko, no, nung kami ay dumalaw sa CLSU, no, na isa ding agricultural na universidad na ang saliksik talaga ay nasa food technology at sa sa agrikultura. No, nakita namin dito yung pag-aalaga nila at pananaliksik sa mga kabute, pananaliksik sa tilapia na ginagawang ice cream, o kaya mga pag-aaral na ang balat ng tilapia ay pwede mong gamitin para maggamot, no, ng sunog sa katawan, no. So ang daming posibilidad, no. Ako namangha ako doon, no, na yung pala pwede palang gamitin, no, sa ating mga dula. So ang susunod kong sasabihin ay mga mungkahi lamang, no, mga maaari mong tanggapin o hindi, no, mula sa isang tagahanga at manonood sa iyong mga dula. No, una ay nakikita ko na ang iyong material ay posibleng maging isang screenplay sa hinaharap, no, dula o script para sa pelikula sa hinaharap. No, dahil sa yaman nito, naalala ko rito, unang pumasok sa aking isipan yung Erin Brockovich, no, na tumatalakay din dun sa pagkakalaso ng tubig, no, at kung paano ba nilabanan ng isang babae, no, yung mga institusyon, no, para para bigyan ng hustisya ang mga biktima, no, ng toxic waste, no, o yung biktima ng mga nalaso ng tubig. Pangalawa ay alam ko na popular ngayon yung yung Blackpink, no, yung Kill This Love, no, pero baka baka pagkatapos ng pandemya mapaso na, no, yung bisa ng kulturang popular. Gets ko, no, na mahalaga ito para i-popularize ang dula, no, makaakit ang manonood, lalo na yung mga kabataan, no, na lubog sa ganitong klaseng kultura ngayon, yung mga Korean music. Pero maaari pang pag-isipan, no. Ayoko magsabi ko ano pwedeng pwedeng ipalit, no. At gets ko yun dahil ang bigat ng paksa, politika, siyensya, no, tapos itong kulturang popular pantulong, pero baka mamaya papang-akit, okay, pero minsan may baka mag-expire, no, yung kasikatan ng isang awitin, halimbawa na kinakanta ng mga mananayaw sa iyong dula, no. Susunod, no, na naisip ko ay pwede pa rin nating lagyan ng bigat ang tunggalian, no. Ito ay hindi lamang tunggalian kasi ng ng politika at ng siyensya, no. Posible na idagdag natin sa tunggalian ay ang pagtutunggali ng mga paniniwala sa medisina o sa siyensya. No, halimbawa, ang lunan ng iyong dula ay iniisip ko, no, Southern Tagalog, no, Southern Tagalog. At sa Southern Tagalog, no, na agricultural na lugar, ay napakaraming napakaraming alamat tungkol sa santo. Nabanggit mo na yung santo rito, no, si La Virgen de Salvados, no. Posible, ang dami, no, kung babalikan natin yung mga nakolektang alamat ni Dr. Damiano Eugenio, ang daming mga saint legends na pwede mong magamit, pwede mo pang inventuhin, pwede mong gawing moderno yung mga alamat na ito na maaring tunggali doon sa paniniwala ng tao at pananalig ng tao sa chemistry, no, doon sa laboratorio ni Doc Ana. No, so iyon, no, dagdag pa rin dito, no, yung social media, no, kasi ano no, sa unang yugto, no, ng iyong dula, para bang nagawa ito noong 1990s na wala pang social media, no? Hindi ko nakita yung mga cellphone, no, sa pangangampanya, no, yung paggamit ng halimbawa social media sa pagkakalat ng mga misinformation, no, kaugnay sa siyensya. Usong-uso yan ngayon no. So baka pwede nating ipasok, no, ma'am, no, yung mga ganitong tunggalian para higit na maging napapanahon o kontemporáneo, no, ang iyong dula. Hindi ko sinasabing luma, no, pero higit na mas malapit, no, sa manonood, no, ang iyong dula. Muli maraming salamat at sana ay mapanood namin ito sa lalong madaling panahon. Sana hindi 7 taon ang aming hihintay.
Salamat, Eugene. May maiksi yatang paliwanag si Layeta tungkol dun sa binabanggit mo dun sa Blackpink, kasi nakasulat dun sa text mismo na maaaring baguhin ng direktor ang kanta na ito na inaawit ng mga mananayaw, if that helps. So ang kasunod nating magko-comment ay si Pipay.
Ay, ako na ba or si Sir Vlad po?
Binanggit mo kasi, hindi ba, na after Sir Vlad. Okay.
Yes po.
Pasensya na.
Sir Vlad?
Vlad?
Okay po, sige. Feeling ko yung concern ni Sir Eugene ay nanggagaling dun sa pamagat din kasi nung dula. Kahit palitan yung kanta, baka pwede naman din palitan yung pamagat. Pero yun lang isip ko, kaya siguro may concern siya dun sa pop culture item na Blackpink. Pero nga, siyempre personally, kung BTS yan, mas okay sa akin. May 3 akong points na gustong i-raise. Yung una ay regardless kung gusto ng mga tao hindi yung Blackpink references. Naalala ko, nabanggit ni Cupcake yung tinarantadong asintado, yung Titus. May eksena doon si Ryan Munoz. Yung may eksena na kampanya. Naalala ko lang kasi nga marami na nagawa si Layeta. Baka umabot na tayo sa punto na may mga mag-aaral na at paghahanay-hanayin ito at makikita na kunwari yung mga eksena sa eleksyon, yung mga song and dance number, word choices, eksena ng killings ay matukoy na bilang yun nga yung poetika ng manunulat na ito. Okay. At importante yun, tingin ko na eventually kung hindi man tayo mismo, may ibang mga tao mag-aaral nung base sa mga naipong gawa, ano yung sadya o hindi sadyang umuulit-ulit, ano yung mga lead-in at iba pa. So yun yung una. Pangalawa, interesante itong piyesang ito kasi may interesanteng relasyon ng sining sa kaagam, kahit nga lang sa UP system. May mga kaso halimbawa na naimbitahan ang ating mga writer, mas madalas sa UPLB kaysa sa Diliman. Pag kunwari yan, buwan ng wika o kung ano man, kasi kailangan gumawa ng continuity script para sa isang special event, graduation o kung ano man, minsan event ng scientist. Minsan magkakaroon ng panawagan na may mga bagong species ng bulaklak at iimbitahan ng ating mga malikaing manunulat para bigyan ng bagong pangalan na kahali-hali na ang mga bulaklak na ito. Ang ICW ay sa isang yugto ay nabigyan ng funding sa pamagitan ng pag-integrate ng sciences sa literature. Meron tayong interdisciplinary book forum na nagtatay sa disciplines pero yung subtext nun kailangan ma-connect namin sa science ang literature para magpatuloy ang funding at projects. Sinasabi ko ito kasi baka sa Jaman o hindi may relasyong nagmumukhang mas mababa ang panitikan at malikaing pagsulat pag tinatabi sa siyensya. At interesado kung kahit hindi naman sila yeta ang sumagot dito, yung pagbasa ng mga kasama dito sa Zoom session, may nagagawa kaya ang proyektong ito para i-address at basagin o kumawala sa ganong klaseng imbalance? Kung sang-ayon kayo sa akin na may ganong mga kaso at mahalagang talakayin ito sa mga ganitong klaseng proyekto. Muli yung pagbali dun sa sadya o di sadyang relasyon na kahit interdisciplinary, secondary ang creative writing at malikaing pagsulat. Last question or point, speaking of poetics dito, sa poetics paper, parang very packed ng science facts ang poetika ni Layeta. At syempre, may hindi lahat lumabas doon sa akda. Maaaring sagutin niya mamaya, ano yung kanyang proseso, anong inyong proseso sa pagpili bilang isang commissioned work ito. May nag-commission sa inyo para gawin ito. Anong proseso ng pagpili, pagtanggal, pagtitira? At bilang isang commissioned work, saan ninyo nakikita ang mga bakas ng tagumpay? O kaya saan nyo kinukuha yung markers na successful kayo? Sa nag-commission ba? Doon sa scientist na nag-commission sa play? Audience reaction ba? Critics reaction? Or syempre bilang mandudula, meron din ba kayong clear markers para sabihin na, sige, may itatawid ako na science facts, pero bilang manunulat dapat ito yung lumabas at tagumpay ako kapag nagawa ko ito. So kahit po mamaya sagutin, maraming salamat po.
Pakinggan naman natin si Edward.
Ay ma'am, si Pipay po yata muna. Si Pipay.
Si Pipay, ano ba yan?
Okay. Just so happens, medyo, I guess, meron akong, syempre, comments for Ma'am Lali, tapos, related question on process na related sa tanong ni Sir Vlad.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, na-excite ako sa buod nito because it felt like I was looking into something that was very familiar already with regard to the dramatic form. The fact na the play takes place in the backdrop of a cancer happening, there's something very Sophoclean about it.
Right.
At the same time, it harkens back to yung ano po, Doc Resurrection na play.
Right.
Because what I loved about that was the layering of sociological grievances also within the small town. So na-excite ako doon. I would love to see this play when it's released in its entirety. With regard to the question that's similar to Sir Vlad's, ang tanong ko naman ay just as well na yung discussion ninyo ni Uleb was about the metaphor. And the premise that this play rests on is hang on, let me find it. Yung nanosilica beads made from rice hull. I would want to ask, when writing this play, and maybe if you're writing other plays that are related to it, when you look at the scientific concepts that come out in your research, when is the something like eureka moment na ay hala, there's just something about this concept na may kwento dito? Where does that start? And has that happened for any other concept or finding so far? I'm just really curious about it. So that's all. Thank you.
Thanks. Pipay, maybe call on Edward.
Yes, maraming salamat po. Binabati ko at napakahusay yung akda. In fact, napanood ko na ito at nanalo to. Siyempre, medyo malapit din sa akin tong karanasan na ito na nandito sa UPLB. Hindi ko lang alam kung paano ko ipahayag ang aking reaction. Baka ano ba? Kasi malaking usapin din dito sa siyensya in the same manner na may iba't ibang lente na pwede kang gamitin sa panitikan at sining. Ganon din sa siyensya. Ganon din sa agham. Kaya gusto kong magtanong, hindi ko sinasabing ito na yung tindig ko, kundi gusto ko lang maglinaw para mas malinawan ako kasi alam ko naman talaga when it comes to pagsusulat, mahusay si Ma'am Lali. Mas mahusay sa akin magsulat yan. Ako more of a director. Now, I would like just to share yung mga ilang observation ko. Like, hindi ko lang ma-picture na, hindi ko na matandaan kasi may click kasi yung script na binigay dito Kung namatay nga si Doc, anong pangalan nito? Doc, yung main character natin, at the same time si Boise, no? Pero at the same time Fiesta. So, amidst all those problems, kung ganun ang pagkakaintindi ko, what could be the redeeming value, no? Nang pagkatapos ng ganitong mga problema, what then? No? The problem remains, election na naman. Then, gusto ko lang malaman kung kayang tumindig din. Gaya siguro may nagtanong na nito, ng dula, nang wala yung usapin ng agham, ng pananaliksik. Like for instance, ginamit niya chemistry. Halimbawa, kung palitan natin siya na ang kurso niya, ang mastery niya ay may kinalaman sa genetics o may kinalaman sa agronomy. Kasi if you're doing these things, sa unang taon mo sa chemistry, mga courses, moles lang ang pinag-aaralan mo. Pero pagdating mo at early stage ng crop science mo, inu-introduce na sa iyo ang composition ng isang fertilizer. No? What could have been the reason maybe that would make that the main character is more of a chemist than other courses, even molecular biology. And then of course, related to this is what is wrong with the arsenic. Of course, alam naman natin, delikado ang arsenic, but it's a metal, it's an element. Pag ito ay isang compound at organic ito, kuminsan sa pagkain ito. Yan ang pagkakaalam ko. But of course, excess of arsenic will cause a problem. Now, assuming na fertilizer ang pinag-uusapan natin. Pag naisipan kong palitan naman natin ang kwento, hindi fertilizer, hihiramin ko yung kambing ni Nap, I will mass produce to help elevate the situation of the people, no? At magde-develop ako ng ingredients or element that could be infused para ang bilis ng production ng kambing. Would that still hold on, develop, the story will continue? Yun yung mga tanong ko. Next. Thank you po. Next. Yung usapin ng kalaban ni Mayor. Si Mayor ay what? Tumulong sa paggagawa ng laboratory. On the other hand, meron siyang punerarya. Hindi ako nagkamali, ano? Ang fertilizer kasi, pag in-implement yan, hindi 100% mapapatay mo yung yung insekto eh. May 99%, 98%, at a certain period, mag-mutate yan. Katulad nitong ating problema sa kaya hinahabol yung herd immunity, na bago ma-develop yung booster, kailangan may herd immunity na para tumagal. The moment we have produced the booster para dito sa tinatawag na vaccine natin, protected na tayo. Pero pag hindi natin ma-achieve yan, mauunahan na naman tayo, mag-mutate kasi yung virus, in the same, kaya merong lambda, may delta, ganito po rin yung fertilizer. At a certain point, mag-mutate yung mite, magiging resistant yan. You have to develop again a new variety or a new kind of fertilizer. Tanong, if this mayor is supporting that laboratory, and then here comes another mayor opposing that laboratory, and please vote with me. I'm proposing a new fertilizer that would have a lesser impact at would address the problem of the impact of this existing fertilizer. But at a certain point, magkakaroon na naman ng mutation kahit anong gawin ng susunod na mayor. Kung gagamit siya ni same panibagong fertilizer, mag-mutate na naman yan. So, pwede bang tumakbo din yung istorya? Now, how can we solve a localized issue sa usapin ng fertilizer? In the case of the Philippines, usually subsidiary lang yung mga maliliit na fertilizer company dito eh. And that's the case of UPLB as early as 1909. Tama si Ma'am Lali, talagang malaking bagay na pag-aralan natin yung tinatawag na scientific paper at drama, yung structure. Kasi at early stage, hindi ka makakagraduate ng UP kahit na nung mga 1909 something without the certificate of that scientific research. Okay? Now, ang usapin ngayon dito, napaka-localized. Sa case ng Philippines, halimbawa, 1960s, nagsimula nang i-promote yung mga institution that produces a rice and that do researches on rice. So come to think of it, itong halimbawa local institution, where does it get its fund? It's really received its fund to the more global or bigger outside foundation. Itong mga international foundation, where does it get its funds? Kukuha yan sa mga support ng transnational. Once you produce the fertilizers, who will benefit, who will get control of the research. Again, the transnational corporation would reproduce that. And again, at the end, bibil consumer ang mga Pilipino. Ang problem natin, okay, tumaas na naman ang yield, nag-increase ang production. At the bottom line, yung question ng mga scientists, pagdating ng 1960s, there were scholars sent to Cornell. Pagbalik nila, sabi nila, no, the problem is not plainly science. The problem is the structure. Unless you address the problem of society, who controls? Mag-mass production ka ng pesticides, mababago uli yan. Pero yung relasyon sa production na nanatiling mahirap yung mamamayan, that will not do good. In fact, I'm looking it in a different way. This is how the scientists of the 1960s, because of the classical Marxists, will look at the role of science being used by the monopoly capitalists. On the other hand, there is what we call the nano-poetics. Sino ba ang proponent nito? I suppose si Calvino Si Calvino Italo. Kung hindi ako si Calvino ay isang Italiano na member ng Italian Communist Party na nagkataong nag-resign kasi dun sa Soviet, nag-react siya sa mga hindi niya nakasundo nung kinonquer ang Hungary. But Calvino has been influenced to some extent. Lumaganap na kasi yung tinatawag na cultural hegemony na sinasabi ni Antonio Gramsci na for the nano-poetics, you have to understand the function of technology. You have to go down to the minute of the details of that micro or nano. Kaya nga na, to the atomic to the smallest, which is very different from the Philippines. The Philippines, to appreciate or understand how science is manipulated and technology, from the simple, you have to raise it to a bigger picture, how the structure, the society is controlling all the production process. Now, in relation to this, gusto ko rin linawin, ano ang tindig ng scientist ng dula? Paano niya tinitingnan? In this case, si Doc, si Resurrection, yung Hermano Mayor, di ba? Inoperan siya. Maganda yon kasi sa totoo lang naman sa Los Baños, merong ganon. Pero hindi pa rin ako kumbinsido, maybe, anong dahilan ni Doc na tanggihan niya yung pagiging Hermano? Sa karanasan kasi ng mga scientists, and this is a reality, majority of them is anthropocentrism. Ang paniniwala, anthropocentrism. Ang paniniwala nila, this is the universe, this is the environment. We are at the center as a human, and we can exploit all the parts of the environment. Once you use the nanotechnology, to the end, magde-benefit ang tao, pero at the end, it could cause some changes and later it affects the human being, which is opposed to ecocentrism. Na tingin mo, ang tao ay bahagi lamang ng iba't ibang entity at may batas na natural law na nag-exist dyan. Ngayon, given this, the scientist could be anthropocentrism ang pananaw. At alam niya, yes.
Maari bang mag-interrupt kasi may mga nakapila pa para if you can wrap up your question.
Yes. Ito na lang po yung last ko. Yung scientist kasi pwedeng ang tingin niya sa loob ng laboratory, scientific siya. Alam niya, ang tukso ng mata, ebidensya, kailangan makita sa eksperimento. Pero paglabas niya dyan, yung kultura niya, spirituality, nandiyan pa rin. Which could create a conflict dong kidok pag ginawa niya yon, na tinanggap niya yung pagiging Hermano Mayor. Kasi ang scientist, kumisan, scientist siya, na-discover siya, alam niya, ganito, kailangan patunayan ng siyensya. Pero yung kultura, dala niya, namatayan siya. Pero yung tatay niya, naalala niya, kahit na nasa laboratory, tayo naman, huwag kang magpaparandam. The spirituality is there. Yun lamang po, ang tingin ko sa perception kasi Pero as a whole, I watch the play, it's great. I appreciate it. Tinatanong ko lang kasi sa punto de vista ng science, paano mo siya kasi it could be an avenue I could use that material para i-promote ko yung better fertilizer than sa fertilizer ng isa, which does not address the issue, which is structural and global. Yun lamang po. Thank you.
Yung pinakahuli mong sinabi ang dapat nating tandaan, di ba, dun sa comment mo. Si Sir Butch?
Okay, maraming salamat sa pagbati kay Leeta. I think one of the things that this play does, which is very important to our culture, is that it puts the scientist in the middle as a dramatic character. I think among all our professions, hindi lang sa pandudula, kundi sa nobela rin, at lalong-lalo na sa tula, hindi lumilitaw ang siyentipiko bilang karakter. Lagi may mga abogado, mga magsasaka, ganyan, pero tila walang agham sa ating kultura. And there's nothing better than the present time to show how important the scientist is to society, precisely because the scientists, and here we can include our doctors, our nurses, these people often find themselves in the middle of very grave moral dilemmas, not only in terms of their research, but also of their work. For example, corruption sa DOH, ganyan. There are many situations where the scientist, who is often seen as a kind of isolated individual, the scientist is simply not taken into account in the story of our people and of the decisions we make. In fact, if we go back in literature, the scientist has traditionally operated as a villain, and there has been a very strong anti-scientific bias in literature, because the scientist has traditionally been embodied by Faust, someone who will give up his soul, for the pleasures of life. And this is carried on into the present, lalong-lalo na sa Hollywood, sa Marvel, kahit sa DC, Lex Luthor, Dr. Ock, the scientist has been demonized. Dr. Strangelove, of course, back in the 60s, as the source or the propagator of human misery. Of course, we go back also to Hitler's, scientists and the like. Kaya negatibo ang dating ng siyentipiko usually sa treatment sa kanya sa kultura. And I really think it's about time that that we rethought that notion, which again, I've been saying this all workshop. The challenge to us as writers is to get away from the easy things and to revisit our most precious assumptions, because that's what the writer should do. Be critical, not only in well-trodden ways, but even within ourselves as cultural people tending to think the same way. May practical effect ito. Halimbawa, yung debating yung tungkol sa bakuna has been terribly complicated, if not compromised, by the politicization of the Dengvaxia issue at yung debates. And we tend to take, for example, GMOs as automatically evil, despite the research of UPLB scientists themselves, who show the very positive and not anti-environmentalist benefits of certain GMO plants, like the corn that they have done research on. In other words, I suspect that we cultural people have this anti-scientific bias in us, you know, that we kind of nurture, that also that we know better than they do. Ano ba alam nila sa buhay ng tao? Nandun lang naman sila sa laboratorio. But to bring the scientist back into the middle of the argument, this play will remind many of us, and I'm sure Layeta is very much aware of this, of Ibsen's Enemy of the People. Kung saan yung character doon ay nagkaroon din ng ganitong krisis. May spa doon sa kanilang bayan, may lason yun, pero yun ang pinagkakakitaan ng buong bayan. Anong gagawin niya ngayon? I-expose ba niya yun? You know, at the risk of the whole town losing its main source of income. So these are moral dilemmas that scientists confront very often, and it's about time that they were taken as again as central characters in literature. Siguro nilang dahil sa backward state na, o hindi naman backward, pero na medyo underdeveloped state ng Philippine science, kaya they don't really come out as you know, as significant or telegenic characters, not as much as they do in the West. So again, I'm very glad that Layeta. By the way, si Ibsen, he could not, sinulat niya ito, sinabi niya, I could not say whether Enemy of the People was a comedy or a serious play or a tragedy, because it had elements of both, and probably I see that here too. The play will really have to be seen to be appreciated, but I'm glad that Layeta has taken this unusual task on. Salamat.
Salamat po. Neil.
Hi. Layeta, magandang araw. In-Indian ako ni Layeta the other day. Siya yung dapat kasama ni Adrian sa consultation. But she had a very valid excuse, so I do hope your mother is doing better, Layeta. Congratulations on your project. And I am in agreement with everyone that the primary virtue of it is that it is trying to engage with a field of knowledge that we normally do not find represented in the arts, no? And that is the hard sciences. Hindi naman ito just science kasi may soft science, no? Merong psychology, sociology, anthropology. Those soft sciences, we have seen enough examples naman of them being used in the arts, no? Pero yung hard science like biochemistry, which is both organic and inorganic, no? Ito kasi arsenic Pero organic din kasi you're talking about rice production, okay? That kind of hard science is generally not implicated in the arts, no? In particularly in theater. Of course, there is a good reason why Layeta took on the project, other than the fact that it was commissioned. I suppose I don't know if we remember, but there was really a case of mass poisoning, no? Arsenic poisoning in Los Baños a few years ago. And they discovered that it had to do with contamination, no? From the agrarian areas of the town that actually ended up or made its way into the groundwater, into the drinking water. And so Layeta's play is actually quite focused on a very urgent issue, no? That Los Baños residents should be more aware of. Of course, interesting, Layeta, na may paradox na hindi mo na parang napansin, no, sa topic na pinili mo. If you've done enough research in arsenic and in rice production, you know that rice itself as a crop is particularly susceptible to arsenic contamination because there is something about rice production and the particular kind of plant that the rice is, nag-uptake talaga siya ng arsenic from the soil. I don't know why Asians seem to have built up an immunity or resistance, no, not immunity, a resistance to arsenic there is so much arsenic in rice. And the browner the rice, the more
More higher.
then the more arsenic there is. That does not stop me from eating red rice. What I do is I actually soak it overnight, and then I make sure I wash it really, really well just to get rid of some of the arsenic. But there is a lot of arsenic in rice compared to wheat and the other cereals that are being produced around the world. Rice is the one that has a lot more arsenic, no? So already arsenic is in the idea of rice production, and it cannot be completely gotten rid of because it is in the nature of the plant itself to absorb the arsenic from its own environment. And so parang the distinction you've decided to make, and clearly this is a conceptual one, between the goodness of rice and the evil that is arsenic is actually already blurred by the fact that in rice itself is arsenic. And I want to talk about that, no? And I think one of the things that you sort of stress in your work, and this is not new to nano theater, no, but since the beginning of the 20th century, no, from the turn of the century, no, from the 19th to the 20th century, after the Age of Enlightenment, no, science became more and more dominant as a cultural practice. We still have to call science a cultural practice. It is on the same ground or level as art. No, it is just like art. It is also a cultural practice, and na-displace ang art. No, now in the hierarchy of knowledge validity in the world, no, science is on top, and the arts and the humanities are lower, and that is why in the university system globally, all our metrics in measuring achievement, no, in the arts are actually patterned after the scientific method or the scientific framework. So as a form of knowledge, nanalo na po ang science, wala na tayong magagawa dyan. At in the evidence presented to us in the history of, let's say, contemporary poetry, kasi Layeta yun ang mas alam ko. Siguro kaya mo ako napili na mag-consultation kasi nalaman mo na meron na akong naisulat tungkol sa contact zone between poetry and art, particularly poetry. Ginamit ng mga poets in the early 20th century ang maraming scientific metaphors to talk about poetic production. Naintindihan nila na para maging valid ang practice ng pagsusulat, kailangan nilang mag-refer sa science kasi yun na nga ang nanalo in this whole more or less battle of the knowledges. Nanalo na yung science eh. So para maging valid ka pa rin as an artist, kailangan gumamit ka ng scientific metaphor. Hindi naman yung siguro yung ginagawa nila yata ngayon to make theater valid by using art, the metaphor from science, but she's really trying to find a way to reconcile the two and to make theater, which is a way to disseminate information and a way to raise the consciousness of people, to get it to help, I suppose, in the mandate of the University of the Philippines, no, to disseminate scientific knowledge among the Filipinos, no, and gagamitin mo ngayon ng art and humanities para mas maintindihan ng mga tao ang mga principles ng siyensya. Lalo na ang problema pala ay scientific, no, arsenic in the drinking water in Los Baños. So kailangan malaman ng mga tao kung ano yung problema na yon at gagamitin mo ang teatro. Siguro contact zone talaga ang metaphor and analogy in the sciences and the arts. Pero hindi, siguro isipin natin na hindi galing sa art ang metaphor, kundi maski sa science mismo, punong-puno ng metaphor. And kala natin hindi gumagamit ng metaphor ang mga scientists. Naku, puro metaphor po ang science, no? Hindi na sila kini-question kasi na ano na sila, they have achieved maybe we call it in the arts cliche na sila. Pero sa science, the more as metaphor works, then the more they will keep it and they will not look for any replacement for it. The more valid it is. So, the metaphor of the heart as a pump. The heart is not a pump, but the metaphor of it is a pump, and it is how it is discussed in medical schools. It is a pump. No, the solar, the planets and the sun, they are not a system, right? Literally speaking, they are not. The system is a simplification for what they are, but we call them a system. And then, of course, now we're talking about disease, right? And epidemiology. in the study of immunology, the militarist paradigm is very much around, no? So you talk about recruiting and engulfing and surveillance, di ba? That those are all happening on the level of the immune system, no? And we're using military paradigms to understand that. And then you talk about cosmology and astrophysics, no? Mga wormhole, mga vortex, di ba mga yan? They are all metaphors that have explanatory function. And in science, the more a metaphor works, then the more it will be kept. In the arts, however, kung nagtuturo ka ng poetry, halimbawa, ay kailangan bago metaphor mo. You actually want your students to keep producing more and more and more and more metaphors, no? Kasi dapat bago lagi, dapat iba. What the metaphor is the paradoxical union of two very different things, di ba? Like two different things, they become one through a metaphor, and that produces a paradox. And I think that is the thing to focus on also, Layeta, no? The idea that in the sciences, paradoxes are a wonderful sort of like eureka kind of thing, no? Na halimbawa, the best paradox or the most sort of important paradox in physics in the last century is the paradox of E equals mc squared. Can you imagine that? Light and matter are one, right? That is a union that the sciences have found, no? Na up to now, E equals mc squared is this poem at the center of the study of the world, no, of physics. Pero ang sa poetry, ang dami-daming mga metaphors that all of them are paradoxes, no? So I think don't forget, Layeta, that while we are trying to engage with science, probably the arts have already understood reality better than scientists because we have been embracing paradoxes all this time. We understand that life is both sad and happy. We understand that the world is both light and dark. And we don't have to sort of like think of it as a eureka moment. It's just the way it is. So the apprehension of complexity, right, which is inherent in what reality and life are, is easier for the artist to make. Now, the embrace of that complexity and the paradox and the contradiction of it. Scientists always want to decompose, to analyze, to break down into the nanoparts. Nano is not small. There's something smaller than that. We have already left the realm of classical physics, no? Nasa quantum physics na ngayon the study of the world, no? At pagdating ng quantum physics, parang poetry na siya kasi wala na talagang fixed principles. Everything is indeterminate on the level of the quantum or the quanta. Okay? So maybe I encourage Layeta to keep working on a project like this, not just this in particular, no, but on anything that can actually use the sciences in order to enrich our artistic practice, no? And don't give up maybe the foothold we already have over the sciences, which is that we can embrace paradox with much less rancor and with an openness of heart and spirit, no? That the sciences find it hard because they always want to find distinctions, diba? Break down into different elements. When in fact, in the end, in the arts, we understand that reality and life are a complexity, an admixture. Ang tawag nga na isang poet before is an impenetrable flux, diba? An impenetrable flux of different things that cannot be decomposed finally, no? They are irreducibly what they are. So thank you, Layeta. Maraming salamat. Natuwa ako sa excerpt na pinesent mo kahit na nakulangan din ako. Ang best part doon ay yung pag-aaway ng mga mananayaw, lalo na yung bakla. Kitang-kita mo doon sa dialogue, sa exchange na yon, yung skill ni Layeta as a dramatist, na ang ganda ng ear niya for dialogue at kaya niyang ibigay sa mga character ang mga very memorable, very human and relatable lines, no? At ang kinaya rin ni Layeta doon ay ang scientist na si Anna ay very hindi jargon. Actually, yung contradiction ng isang scientist sa Pilipinas ay ini-embody na niya, no? Na siya ay isang scientifico, ngunit nasa mundo siya na punong-puno ng mitolohiya, ng relihiyon, ng ng superstition, 'di ba? At kailangan niyang i-reconcile sa sarili niya itong dalawang realidad na ito. Maraming salamat, Layeta, at mabuhay ka, at gusto kong makita ang play na ito. At of course, si Layeta ay champion na ng theater. Matagal na nating alam yan. At siya ang bright light, no, ng humanities program sa Los Baños. Marami sila doon. Pero si Layeta for me ang parang go-to person talaga. If you want to understand, put your finger on the pulse of humanities and arts production in Los Baños, si Layeta ang lalapitan mo. Maraming salamat, Layeta. Mabuhay ka.
Salamat, Neil. Ibigay na natin ang natitira pang panahon para kay Layeta. Layeta Bukoy, please.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Pero syempre kasi wala ng oras. So isi-zero in ko lang. Number one, yung commission, it wasn't commission. So yung project na ito was more of a challenge that was given to me more than a decade ago by the former or one of the former deans of the College of Arts and Sciences. So nakikimerienda kasi ako sa kanya noon, 2 p.m. and 10 a.m. So one time, while she was feeding me, nabanggit niya lang, why not we fuse arts and science together, ganyan. And then I told her, actually, I wrote a play, ganyan. And then I sent it to her, she read it, and then she said, kaya lang social science. So I said, hindi, meron pa ako na biotech naman. Kaya lang, nung pinadala ko, sabi naman niya, kaya lang science fiction. So it was from her na nakuha ko yung challenge na kasi ang sabi niya, you have to come up with something na may interplay talaga yung arts and the hard science. So doon, so it's not commission, pero merong gustong mag-stage. So it may go online one of these days. Tapos, Sir Butch Dalisay, very, very important lang na ma-mention ko sa inyo kasi my primary consultant for this, our nanoscientist and the founder of the UPLB Nanotech program, Dr. Milagros Peralta, always talks highly of you kasi pinagmamalaki niya when you both were in Pisay, no, Philippine Science. She was a freshman, tapos you were like the editor, no, of the school organ. You took her in daw, even if she was still a freshman. And yes, you were right then po in observing that I got the inspiration or the idea for this particular play because of the Dengvaksha fiasco or the Dengvaksha issue, no, that we had. I just thought at that time, medyo nagulat din kasi ako na why is it that opinions coming from the not medical experts, no, were the ones who were overpowering the data and the evidences, the stuff of the experts, no. So that made me think, no, at that time. In terms of yung the social media aspect, is all over the play kasi the away, no, the away between the two parties will happen on social media. So kaya ganon yung the split scene at the beginning, no, of the play, kaya siya naka-split then in the first place because they were supposed to be broadcasting on FB Live. Kasi yun na nga rin yung ginagawa ngayon. And yes, yung mga politicians nowadays, they do answer one another sa FB pages or even the FB personal accounts, no, ng isa't isa. And then when it comes to yes, Sir Neil, merong study nga doon sa Los Baños, no, in terms of the level of arsenic contamination, and one of those studies was the one that was also used, no, for this play. And the lead scientist rather who conducted that particular study, sila rin yung consultants, no, for this one. And then when it comes to, ikaklaro ko lang yung fertilizer, baka na-miss nyo lang or I'm not sure if it has already been included in the excerpt. the fertilizer is an evaporation suppressant. So that makes a whole lot of difference. And then when it comes to what nanoscience technology is all about, the definition and the understanding, they all came from the UPLB nanotechnology program. So ang sa akin lang, of course, I have to trust my own scientists. And I know that they do have the expertise to help me with this project. I was the one who naka-third doors na pinilit ko lang sila na hayaan ako na gumawa nito kasi as I've already mentioned in the video presentation, not all research materials nila are already available in the public. So one of the research papers that I had to use for this one is still undergoing patent application. No, so syempre 'di ba may mga level of secrecies doon, and they do have a world which may not be very familiar to us. But the point here is that all throughout the development of the play naman, I am quite confident that the science in it is going to be sound because I cannot release anything without having the UPLB Nanotech program vet it first. Now, so for this particular play, dumaan muna sa kanila because they also want the science for the plays to be very sound. No, and yung sa arsenic, no, ang naging problem nga kasi our threshold, yung sinusunod natin as a country, apparently ay mataas pala compared doon sa bagong nilabas ng US Environmental Agency. So yun yung isang napakalaking problema because it's not just easy. No, we know for a fact it won't be easy na basta na lang, okay, tigilan niyo yung sa tubig, or even if rice is contaminated, hindi naman ganun kadali yun because again, we do have other things or other areas, no, of our society to look at too. So yun lang po. Thank you again very much to all of you.
Maraming salamat, Layeta. Wala na po tayong oras para sa pagbibigay ng maiksing synthesis. Maaari naman tayo makapagkomento tungkol sa dula pa ni Layeta sa ating roundtable discussion kung ibig pa po ninyo. Pero napakayaman ng ating naging diskusyon ngayong hapon. Maraming pong salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Luna C.